Paul George used his latest podcast to jump to the defense of Russell Westbrook. The Clippers lost their first 5 games after signing Westbrook, but George said it was, quote, dumb to put all the blame on the guard because he was playing, quote, unbelievable. Shannon, does Paul George have a point?
Well, Skip, look, yeah, all the blame, but I don't think anybody put all the blame. They was talking about the turnovers and in crucial situations that Russ, turned the ball over. But what I don't get is this Trump-like support of Russ. So he's been on 5 teams in 5 years. So all of these teams are wrong. So everybody, the Lakers, the Wizards, the OKC, the Houston, everybody was wrong.
You stopped me with, you got Trump and Russ in the same sentence.
But this
I know, I got it.
The support of Russ.
Yeah, I got it. In the end, they've been winning lately only because he's been playing Russ less. Okay, that's it. That's the magic formula. Play him less. Okay.
Sorry, guys, we are out of time. Great stuff, but we gotta go. We'll be back tomorrow morning. Stick around. The Herd's next.
Undisputed.
Steph Curry dropped 23 points in the Warriors' 123-112 win over the Suns last night. After drawing an N1, take a look. Curry doing some trash talking to Chris Paul, saying, quote, "This ain't 2014 no more." I've known CP3 to do plenty of trash talking himself. Shannon, do you like or have a problem with what Steph said?
I ain't got no problem with it whatsoever. Steph has always been like this. What do you think he's doing when he shoots the ball and turns and runs up court? What do you think he does when he shoots a shot skipping? He know he's shimmying.
Yeah.
Or he's got his tongue hanging out. He's taking his mouthpiece and he's skipping up and down the court.
Yep.
Steph has always been disrespectful.
That is
Steve Kerr and his teammates have tried to tell you Steph Curry is an assassin. He's more like Jordan than you think. Just because he is not in your face, and he wasn't in Chris Paul's face when he said that.
No.
He turned around. This isn't 2014. He says, I'm different, and you're very different. You remember what Kobe did the last time he faced Jordan? He dropped 55 on his head. The ultimate sign of respect is that when you got the old gunslinger and you got him down, you take him out.
No.
That's what Steph Curry said. Hey, Skip. CP3's from North Carolina. Steph Curry grew up in North Carolina, in Charlotte. I think Chris Paul's in Greensboro, Winston-Salem. I think he's Winston-Salem.
Yep.
So he's very familiar with Chris Paul. Probably looked up to Chris Paul.
Probably did.
And now this is my chance. This ain't 2014 no more. You remember how you used to dog me a little old light Steph? How you used to steer me around and just bully me around?
He did.
That ain't happening no more, bro. We at a different place in time in our careers.
Yep.
And I'm going to let you have it. I'm going to let you know that what you're in for. I got no problem with it. That's just the evolution of the game, is that what you see is that when the guys that you looked up to, I think Drake said idols become rivals. And now I'm the top dog. I'm the head cheese. I'm the head honcho.
Yep.
I got no problem with Steph Curry because, like I said, Skip, people have tried to tell us for the longest time. Y'all see that cute, cuddly little baby face, and y'all think that's what he is. He's nothing like that on the court. He's different, and he's showing. I love it. I love with all that. I love the bravado. Hey, let it loose, Steph. Give it to him.
Okay, I got a whole lot to say about this, but first of all, could we please go back to the video of what actually happened on this play, because Steph does get baseline on CP3, who is not what he used to be.
Don't give up the baseline, CP3.
And if we could see that carefully, he arm bars him and gets away with an offensive foul because he just wraps his right arm around CP3 and holds him off with his right arm. It's an offensive foul. And I see it get called a lot in this league, but not that guy, not in that building. He's not going to get called for that. My next issue is, if I may get this off my chest because I like the Suns, what is DeAndre Ayton doing? Can you help me out here?
He's
just watching.
DeAndre Ayton.
He's watching. He's just observing. Hey, you're 7 feet tall. He's 6'3" at best, maybe 6'2". You got to come and get a piece of the basketball, at least send him to the free throw line.
Well, he got a piece of Steph Curry. That's why he got the N1.
Okay, but you got to do it with some authority, right? You got to make your presence known. That was like the weakest N1 you'll ever see.
But you pin your hopes. That's the championship team. That's the guy that you got your hopes pinned to.
Okay, but thank you for bringing that up. Yes, Steph can be a front-running hot dog because that's who he is and has always been. And a lot of times it's more of a positive than a negative.
Right.
But it irks me it eats at me that he is front running last night and hot dogging last night against a team without its best player, without its newly acquired player, the same player that he went all the way across the country to recruit and beg to come save poor little Steph and the Warriors.
Steph said they drugged me. Said I wanted no part of that.
Okay.
I was just being a team player.
There was no Kevin Durant last night. And plus, it wasn't like Steph was doing it to Phoenix without Kevin. It was Clay. Clay, if your running mate is going to make 8 of 14 threes, I think you got a good chance at home to win the basketball game.
Right.
And then after the game, Steve Kerr's starting to wear me out. 'Cause he says, we knew how big a game it was, and Clay knew how big a game it was, and he came out and set the tone. Baloney, he set the tone. There's no Kevin Durant.
Right.
Kevin bleeping Durant is watching the game. I don't think he went to the game because he didn't want to go back to Golden State without. I
don't think he's played. I don't think he's played in that building.
He hasn't played a game in that building.
Because Steve Kerr was saying they want to do a video tribute to him to thank him for what he
said
did.
It's insane that he keeps missing the return game. Okay. This is the same Steve Kerr who just the other night, they beat Milwaukee, and he said, that was championship stuff I saw out on the floor. They didn't have Giannis. You can't have championship stuff when the other team doesn't have maybe the best player in basketball or one of the top 3 players in basketball. You can't say that. If there's no Kevin Durant, you can't tell me how big a game it was. It wasn't a big game. It was a game you should have won easily, and you did win easily.
Right.
Way to go. Okay. So what is going on with the Warriors? Well, they're front running at home because they have now won 8 straight games at home.
Right.
Guess what, ladies and gentlemen? They have now lost 8 straight on the road. They have plummeted to 7 and 26 away from that building that they played in last night. 7 and 26. Shannon Sharp, they are the defending NBA champions.
Yeah.
And would you believe that right now they rank overall in defensive efficiency 14th in the league? That's middle of the pack.
Right.
Last year, they finished the regular season #1 in defense. Would you believe that on the road, away from that building they won so handily in last night where they've won 8 straight games, would you believe that on the road, the Golden State Warriors this year rank 28th in the league in defense? Only Houston and San Antonio play worse road defense than the Golden State Warriors. Help me out. Is that not the problem here?
Yeah.
They don't play
they don't.
defense. Again, Draymond used to be a top 10 type defender, and he's still pretty good, and he's ranked 22nd, which is pretty good. But the rest of them, Clay used to be very good, and he's ranked 83rd in defensive win shares individual. My point is, as a collective group, they don't play any defense at home, and they play even less defense on the road.
That is correct.
Help me out. And Steve Kerr's talking about championship stuff. Well, he's trying to speak it back into existence because it ain't there. It's not. What are we? It ain't 2022 anymore, right?
Right.
Okay.
And plus, Skip, what Steph is referring to, in 2014, CP3 knocked them out.
They played, and it went 7 games, and it was the game 7. They won 126 to 121. He was a Clipper, obviously, and yes, he would get the better of Steph, not with scoring, but again, in that game, I looked it up. Chris had 22 and 14 assists, and Steph had 33 points.
Right.
He had 3 of 7 threes. He wasn't bombing threes.
He wasn't Steph Curry. He wasn't Steph Curry yet.
Steph Curry
the
yet.
next year,
but then it went.
MVP.
First MVP was the next year.
Yep.
But remember, the point was the Clippers would bully them. It was a very physical series. I think Mark Jackson was the coach, and he instilled a lot of toughness in that team, and he taught them to play defense at a very high level. And they went toe-to-toe, face-to-face, snarl for snarl with an older, wiser Clippers team. But in the end, the Clippers team basically bullied them in a game 7. And Steph was baby-faced. He was slender Steph. And he's gotten in the weight room. He looks a lot better. And Chris is not what he used to be.
No.
He can't move his feet the way he used to move on defense.
Nope.
I got it. But to me, when we saw Kevin in the mix, it was working because remember what happened at Dallas? When they dared Chris to make shots in the fourth quarter, he made 3 big jump shots, 2 threes and a jumper from the free throw line. Right. And he can still do that. And that's all I need him to do because he can still orchestrate and quarterback. Yes. And so they're not the same team. So you're going to gloat, front run, and chest beat over this?
He He's
Okay.
talking about Chris. That ain't got nothing to do with Kevin Durant. He's talking about you, CP3.
I know,
Because
but-
you tried to D. Skip, you see how Chris Paul was trying to D him up like it was 2014.
Okay.
And all Steph said, this ain't 2014 no more.
Okay. And you get away with armbarring him and an offensive foul on it. Okay. I guess you've earned that.
Yeah.
'Cause you're a two-time MVP and you've won, what, 4 rings?
4.
4 rings. Okay. It's been a long time since 2014. But I hope these two teams meet in the postseason with Kevin Durant healthy and happy on the other side. And then we'll see what happens.
I mean, he still might get that word to Chris Paul.
I'll bet he doesn't in a postseason.
Oh,
series.
he'll eat to it.